Hey guys!
Hey!
Welcome back to another video. In this week's video we are going to be reviewing the Hotel Cheyenne in Disneyland Paris. So, let's go! So Hotel Cheyenne is one of the few hotels that Disneyland Paris have on offer as a Disneyland hotel. So it's one of their sort of, what's the word? Budget hotels. I say budget.
Value resort.
Yeah, I say budget. It's still quite expensive, more expensive than staying at one of the other ones that isn't Disney Resort. But it is one of the lower tiered ones. So it's not overly expensive. I think you can normally get really good deals on it. If there's ever a deal on staying at Disney, it's either in Hotel Cheyenne or Santa Fe. They're the two sort of budget value resorts. They're right next door to each other. The theming of Cheyenne is all based around country western, cowboys and Indians, all that kind of stuff. It's amazing. So actually some of the buildings, so we stayed in the...
Wasn't there like a...
We stayed in the Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we stayed in Billy the Kid resort, in the Billy the Kid building. There was a Calamity Jane. There was loads, absolutely loads of different bits. And everything was all sort of like from a Western film. So there was like, all the buildings were just big square buildings and they were like white. There was like railings at the front for you to put your horse on. And everything was all dusty and there was like a well in the middle. And you've seen it anyway, but it just looks amazing. It was just a really, really good resort. I really enjoyed it.
So in the actual resort itself, they obviously have a few shops and pieces. Their main kind of like food place was the Chuck Wagon, which as we've mentioned in a previous video, this was actually closed for refurbishment when we went. So we didn't actually get to eat in there or see it.
It looks like a saloon from the outside,
yeah,
like a saloon bar. You kind of got the swing doors and stuff. It's awesome. Yeah,
so that's an option. If you decide to stay there, they do have a food option there. They also had a Starbucks on property as well. Well, I say on property in the hotel. This was pretty much near kind of the reception area. And again, we didn't actually go to the Starbucks. We actually spent quite limited amount of time in our resort.
Yeah, we didn't really stay there very often at all, just for sleeping.
Yeah, so yeah, there's a Starbucks there, and obviously they have their standard, Disney gift shop as well. They had merchandise for that hotel, and they just had stuff like standard stuff you can get in the parks, like mugs, pins, all that type of stuff as well.
Yeah. So the next thing we're going to talk about is actually sort of like location and placement. So we drove to Paris in the summer just gone. Well, I drove to Paris.
August 2017.
Yeah, August 17 we drove. And we took the ferry across, and then I drove from Calais through to Paris. Dead simple. Anyone that's thinking about doing it, driving, it was slightly cheaper because we got the ferry for free, included in the package. So all I had to do was pay for petrol to get us there. It's such an easy drive, straight down to Dover, straight across, and I was there. And it's just one straight road until
It was literally one straight road.
I got on the road, I put on cruise control, I sat on there for about two and a bit hours, and then when I got to Paris, I sort of circled Paris, came in, and it was maybe 20 minutes of driving through a village with a few houses, and then that's it. And it was roundabout after roundabout, and then I got there. It was dead straight, there was no tiny little country lanes, stuff. It was really, really good. Sat nav took it straight in, but it was simple to find because once I got onto Disney property, there was just, I still followed the sat nav, but there was signs everywhere saying Cheyenne, 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 and we finally got there, and it's just, everything's so big. It was very big lanes as well, which was nice once I got there. I parked up and I didn't touch the car for a week. Just stayed there because the next part of the placement is how useful it is being close to everything.
It's very strange because if you've been to Walt Disney World, the resorts are so far away from each other. You have to drive in between. You can't see a resort from your resort. Some of the value ones you can, but most of them, the resorts are quite a while away.
Yeah.
In Disneyland Paris, you can walk everywhere. You can walk from the parks from your resort. You can walk from resort to resort. It's all so close together, which is really, really handy.
I literally, at one point, we realised we left one of the batteries, and I ran from the castle to our hotel and back again in about 15 minutes.
Yeah. You did run.
I did run. I jogged.
Sweating.
I did jog, but it was like, took maybe 15 minutes to do. It's not far at all. And it's a lovely walk.
Yeah.
From the Cheyenne,
really
it was
nice.
lovely.
It's
So
like a river that goes all the way through.
Yeah, you come out of Cheyenne onto the main path. Santa Fe is the other side of that river. and you just follow all the way down. You go past New York, which is now becoming Avengers. And then you've got across the other side of the big lake, but the river connects to the lake. You follow around, go through the village, and there you are. It was just such a good placement.
Yeah.
And it's all lit, it's not dark, it was all lights the whole way between them, so it's not like, I mean, I wouldn't recommend letting your kids walk back and forth at 11 o'clock at night, but as a family, there's nothing to worry about walking around. You couldn't just leave Magic Kingdom and walk back to your hotel. I mean, you could if obviously you were the one of the closer ones, but you could never leave Magic Kingdom and walk back to Coronado Springs.
No.
We'd have been up for jaywalking, but we'd have also probably got hit by something or eaten by one of the snakes.
Yeah.
You know, an alligator.
No,
You know what I mean? You can't. Yeah, it was.
That's what's really nice about Paris. You can just walk everywhere. As Jez said, we parked the car up on the first day and then didn't use the car again until we left. Because you can just walk everywhere. I mean, if you've got...
There are buses.
Yeah, no, there are buses.
They do put buses on, but the walk is nothing.
I think it took, as Jez said, to walk, it probably took 20 minutes from our hotel room into the park. Because you've got to walk
20
along the
minutes
front,
to get
through
there.
the village, through the entrance.
Yeah, I mean, I did it there and back running in like 15. So
Yeah, but as a
if
family,
you wanted
you
to
can
walk
stroll
there and then walk back again, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just a stroll, and it's not like you're in a rush, because actually walking through the village in the morning is really nice because it's empty and you actually see things you don't normally see. So it's nice. The only downside to that is the fact that I didn't feel like I wanted to get into the car, so actually we had to shop and eat in all the restaurants and all their stuff. You know what I mean? They have McDonald's and that, but whereas when we're in Florida, I'm more inclined to go, because I'm in the car every day anyway, getting us about, be like, oh, let's get a McDonald's, or oh, let's go to Burger King, or oh, let's go to IHOP.
It's like, they obviously don't have that in Paris. They don't have all of the places that we want to visit.
No, but this is the thing. That's because inside Paris, so effectively Disneyland Paris is in a huge circle. There's actually a massive outside ring that goes around it, and that's and inside that property, the only chain one I can think of is McDonald's.
They had like Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah,
like
but no, I mean like chain,
like fast
quick
food.
service. Yeah. Whereas we were looking at the maps the other day in Florida, and actually we can drive to about 5 chain restaurants in about 6 minutes, all in property. So that's the difference. It's nice. It actually is quite nice because you never feel like you're in a rush to go anywhere, or because you can just come back and forward, and it's like a 20-minute walk, which is nice. So yeah, placement's really good.
So the next thing we're going to talk about is the actual room. So it's quite similar to the rooms you get in Florida. So we got 2. They were double beds, weren't they?
Yeah,
they weren't like huge, but what we'd have in England, just 2 double beds. The room was really cutely themed.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was actually Toy Story themed. We had Woody's boot as a lamp. Around the kind of top of the room there was a border that had like Woody, Jessie.
There's frames on the wall with them in it.
Yeah, and like the curtains were like they were like Woody's.
Yeah,
like,
even the throw on even the throw on the beds was like cowhide kind of thing.
Yeah. So it was really
the actual theming was better in them rooms than the ones I've experienced in Florida.
Yeah, I'd say comparing it to Coronado Springs, which is the only Disney resort we've stayed in at this present time.
But we've been in other rooms, like we went into the boat club one, didn't we? You know what I mean? Like, but that's not to say, because obviously we know that some hotels offer like deluxe suites that are so well themed that there's like lights in the wall
like
and stuff.
Like animation, you can get like a Little Mermaid room.
Yeah, but this was just a standard room. We didn't pay any extra for it, and it came so well themed.
Yeah,
so it's
really well
definitely it's amazing. I was so impressed.
One thing, you don't get a fridge.
No, you don't get a
mini fridge like you do when you stay in the Disney parks in Florida. And I can't remember. I think we may have got a coffee machine.
There was a kettle. There was a kettle and like tea, coffees, things like that. Yeah.
But yeah, the room was pretty much the same. I might say it's a bit smaller than the one we stayed in Coronado Springs. Like there wasn't a sink room. It was all one. Like the toilet was and the sink, all one room.
Yeah, but
whereas in Florida, when we stayed in the Disney resorts, you had like a room with the sinks, and then you'd have a different room.
The beds are bigger
where
as well.
The toilet and the bath was.
Yeah, but I do think the room was absolutely fine.
Yeah, the room was really nice.
The only negative thing was the fridge, but I didn't feel like I missed it.
You can't.
No, I didn't go off property,
anyway,
so I had nothing to keep in them. Maybe a colder drink would have been nice, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the rooms are awesome. So the next section is just things and stuff, and I think the words amenities or nenimities, I can't remember what it is, around the actual hotel themselves. So it was very much based on, we have things like, there was this, we didn't actually go in it, but there was this huge wooden structure, like a cowboy fort, and it was amazing. It was like, I kind of peeked through, it wasn't open, I imagine it.
I don't know if it's something that was there for theming or if it was there for kids to play in.
It might be open, but we were only ever at the park in the mornings and the evenings.
Yeah,
we never went there during the day, so actually if you stayed in the hotel during the day, you might find it open, I'm not sure.
And
but it looked awesome.
So they had like little teepees made out of like tree branches and things.
Yeah, anyone's been to Somsoil Island in Magic Kingdom, similar to that kind of idea, like Fort Langhorne, that kind of thing. It's amazing. It was pretty cool, and I wish we could have played in it, but it was shut.
Yeah.
Other
things they had is they had a little vegetable garden.
Yeah,
in the
they
resort,
did.
Which was really sweet.
That was super
I say
cute.
little, it was quite big. You just walked through it and you could see cast members literally just watering the plants, planting things, and they had like vegetables and herbs.
Yeah, and it said on there, similar to like Living with the Land, they actually said that the food that they grew in these patches, and it said the actual restaurant they went to.
Yeah.
So there was like a big load of strawberries, and they went to Chez Remy, and it was stuff like that. It was very cool. Whether or not they do, who knows? But it was amazing. It just added to it. It was cute. It was very cute. There was also horse rides. So there was like horses going up and down through the street, which was quite cool. So it just added that Western theme. There was less going on at the hotels, but I feel like it's because when you go to Paris, you don't go there for 2 or 3 weeks. So you don't stay in the hotel as much, you get to the parks. Whereas in Florida, when we went for 3 weeks, there's like night entertainment.
And they don't have a pool.
No, there was no pool. There's arcades and stuff. But then again, it's Paris. I mean, they don't get the heat like Florida does, so they can't have an outside
it was hot
pool.
when we went, but
yeah, it was. It was like 30 degrees.
That's not
like,
standard, is it?
No, it's not standard, is it? It's normal. It changes. It fluctuates a lot. Whereas in Florida, they don't need to shut the pools. They don't even need to shut them realistically.
No, I don't think we do. Not
They
the
do.
hotel ones.
No, the hotel ones don't shut.
The water parks do.
Yeah, but we're not talking about Magic Kingdom in hot Florida. We're talking about Paris. So yeah, the actual hotel had quite a few stuff going on, so it's nice that it had a bit going on. They might have more during busier times and stuff, but yeah, I imagine it looks pretty cool during Christmas. I reckon they've got a big tree outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Another thing that we noticed about the resorts, because we headed over to Santa Fe one morning for breakfast as well, and Hotel Cheyenne had it, they actually had like meet and greets inside the Disney lobbies, which were really nice. So I think when we went, it was either Pluto or Goofy.
There's Pluto in our hotel.
And Goofy.
I think it was Goofy and Santa Fe.
Yeah.
But it changes, I'm sure, because I remember seeing a list of who it could be.
Yeah, but it's literally just in the lobby of the hotel, so as soon as you walk in, and we had like a big kind of like fireplace thing that they were standing in front of, and you literally just queue up and have a photo, which is really nice. You're in the Disney, I mean, you're staying in a Disney hotel, but you're meeting characters without even being in the parks.
Yeah,
really
I don't
nice.
remember ever having the opportunity to meet characters at Coronado Springs.
No.
But I have seen character meet and greets at like Floridian and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's because they have Disney dining.
Yeah.
Not Disney dining, they have
character
dining in those resorts, so.
Yeah, no, that's one thing that Disney Paris does, which is weird. I've watched Pluto just walking around with like 40 people following him.
Yeah.
Just quickly snap pictures. Like, you must have seen in the vlogs, like, I just walked up to the genie, there was no queue system, I just jumped in front of him, took a snap with him. Same with the Stormtroopers, same with Mr. Incredible. There's no queue. I'm not saying that there has to be a queue, because obviously the system works for them, but it just felt like a bit anarchy. You know, there was no order. I felt like, I mean, I jumped in front, I didn't care about the 6-year-old crying behind me, I just didn't care. But some
Probably
people
would do if that's your 6-year-old and some man.
That won't happen though, because I'll be jumping in front of my 6-year-old. You know, if they're not man enough to jump in front, then they need to grow up.
Yeah, but you would not have that in Florida, do you know what I mean?
No, it's
like
cute,
orderly.
structured, done, just done. But yeah, that's how
Yeah, it was really nice that you could meet a character in the hotel.
So yeah, the final one is one that isn't a reflection on the actual hotel itself, but the dining plan. So we always mention dining plan. We actually obviously paid for the dining plan for the trip, and we use that a lot. I think we actually use it really well, but it's one of the ones that you kind of have to pay for as an addition on top of the tickets, on top of the hotel. Unlike Florida, where sometimes you get a package where it comes with it, so it's slightly different. But the dining plan didn't really make any difference in the hotel. There was nowhere in the hotel when we were there, because Chuckle Wagon was shut, that we can actually use it. So there's only one place that we can think of on hotel that we could use it. So the dining plan was worth it for us, but definitely do some research on it, because depending on the hotel you're staying in, it might be worth more. Especially staying in like New York, when you're right next to the village, it's probably worth more than it is at somewhere like Chucklewagon with one place. So yeah, that's our review of Cheyenne.
Overall, I was really happy with it.
Yes, I was.
If you want to go to Paris and you want to go maybe more on a budget, I would definitely recommend it. I would definitely stay there again.
Yeah.
The reason we won't stay there again on our next trip is because we're very much like, there are so many different hotels.
Yeah.
We want to stay in as many as we can. But I don't know, if one time we saw a really good deal for them,
Yeah,
I
I'd
would
happily
go back.
stay there. I mean, normally the deal is either Santa Fe or Cheyenne, so if it ever happened again, we'd probably do Santa Fe.
Because that's like Cars themed.
It's Cars themed, we've not done that one. But I reckon next time we go, it'll be maybe one of the moderate hotels.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, try one of them ones, we'll see.
But yeah, good rating for Santa Fe.
So yeah, I think out of 10, I'd give it an 8.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel that's a fair. It's not quite a 9. I feel like if Chucklewagon had been open, I may have stretched to a 9. You know what I mean? But that's an 8.5 out of 10 on just the hotel itself and theming and stuff like that. It may drop when I try other hotels and think, wow, this is so much better. But yeah, that's my review. That's our review, and we hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks for watching again, guys.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.